June 9, 2024, the term petrodollars refer to the U.S. dollar earned by oil exporting countries through the sale of oil. However, upon lapse of the deal on June 9, 2024, Saudi Arabia refuses to renew it. This sparked concerns in the global financial market regarding the strength of the U.S. dollar. The Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman decided to not renew their contract with the United States. That was about 50 years. Yeah, it ended this month. Yo, so, see, this is why I always say I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to irritate your mind. It's not what they say, but this is what you really have to understand. It's not what they say, it's what they're not saying. And this is what the mainstream media is doing over here. They're not telling you. They only want to tell you the good news and the news that you need to hear, right? But what about this bad news? This is going to affect your pockets, middle class, right? It's going to affect your pockets because, you know, I listened to Jerome Powell, right? It was just last week. You know, the CEO, chairman of the Fed funds or whatever, or whatever, the federal bank. And I'm like, they're not going to cut rates, right? They said they might cut rates maybe one time. And I'm suspecting if they do it somewhere around the election, they make it look like the president or whoever is doing whatever, right? But rates are standing still, right? Because they're trying to drop inflation to 2 point something. How are you going to drop inflation to 2 point something? It's 3 point something now. I'm trying to say, how are you going to drop inflation when energy, shelter, food, these three things went up? It went up. Now, Saudi Arabia look like they're going to link up with the BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and you might as well put another S on that.
Arabia has officially ended its 50-year petrodollar agreement with the United States, shifting to a multi-currency system.
You see this American right here gotta go out of the mainstream media in-house and go outside to listen to news about what's going on inside this country. Wow, it's very amazing, right? How it's not what they say, it's what they're not saying. And I gotta find it outside the country, right? And they're not highlighting this. And the press is not asking these questions to the president or whoever, or the Fed. Listen, BRICS right now: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and you might as well put Saudi Arabia. I'll get back to that in a minute. They're a loose economic trade partnership. That's basically what it is, right? Multiple currency, like the lady said, right? So I'm worried about now, like I said earlier about Jerome Powell announcing if they're gonna raise rates, because right now the Fed fund is around what 5.5 short-term interest rates, businesses, right? Banks loaning from each other, but the prime is like what 8, or I think it's 7.5 right now. So, you know, a lot of people are getting, a lot of businesses and stuff is getting affected, and some of their leases are up and they got to renew, and some of them ain't going to even renew to 5.5. They can't afford it, right? It's not like they're getting cheap money like back in the days, like 2 or 3%. And then they could make a profit out of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to 5.5. So you're going to see a lot of businesses going down, not renewing their contracts with their leases on their buildings. A lot of things are going on. You're going to see regional banks, of course. You're going to see a lot fail. And it's either big bank takes small bank, or small bank just fails. That's basically it. So now let's listen to, you know, how the BRICS are now adding more. Yes, they're adding more countries to their list. Look at them. Look at them.
Also considering full BRICS membership later this year and is expanding its oil trade to include more countries and currencies. This is a direct threat to the petrodollar system that has propped up the U.S. economy for decades. But the BRICS shockwave doesn't stop there. Something seismic happened on June 10th and the 11th at the BRICS foreign ministers meeting. 59 new countries announced plans to join BRICS. I mean, what? 59 new countries? And during the meeting, they agreed to an astonishing $78 billion in bilateral trade deals. Yes, they publicly announced plans to ditch the US dollar also at this meeting for local currencies in cross-border transactions. So they made this announcement. We're done. We're done using the US dollar. This is game over, folks.
Hey, now, Americans out there, you can listen to your mainstream media, right? And believe what you want to believe. But at the end of the day, when you out there buying food, energy, and shelter, and you feeling it, you can believe it. But you really gonna feel it. So you can believe the lies. That's like I say in my channel. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between the lines. And I'm also here to irritate your mind. It's not what they say, it's what they're not saying. I mix the truth with the lies and the lies with the truth. But at the end of the day, your ninjas love lies and y'all hate the truth. And that's America. That is America. Okay? So all I'm saying is, there's more to boxing. This is a boxing channel. It'll always be a boxing channel. But at the same time, like right now, I'm going to give you an example of this people that's outside listening to me from the inside of boxing, right? But I'm just moving on, right? We got a man named Turki Al-Sheikh, right? And he's bringing money into boxing, right? And it's doing really good. You know what I'm saying? We getting the fights we won and blah, blah, blah. He's coming in because he wants to see these fights. So he's willing to overpay these boxers, right? To get what he wants. Example, Canelo. Canelo is supposed to fight Benavidez. He's ducking him, but he wants $150 to $200 million to fight the Mexican monster, Benavidez, in his weight class, right? Then you got Terrence Bud Crawford. He's got to move up 2 weight classes. And that's the fight that Crawford wants. Canelo said he didn't want to do it. Now he's changing his mind and that he might do it, but I think he wants $100 million for that fight. So, money talks, bullshit walks, right? So you can see that at the end of the day, to me, boxing is just like the bullshit that Americans going through right here. You got that 1% of boxers that's asking for this and that. You know, let me not just get in it. But at the end of the day, right, when you look at things, you got to look at this interest rate. And I'm saying to myself, well, they might raise the interest rate, you know. I mean, not raise it. I mean, they might drop it on an election or whatever. And if they drop it 25 basis points, or if they drop it 50 basis points, whoop the effing do. Like, the inflation of everything is so high. You dropping it for 25 basis points or 50 basis points, regardless if it's the election or after election, whatever, if it's up to 8.5, right? I see some people out right now, they got a home equity line of credit, and they paying 8.5. When before this shit happens, they was paying less than that, right? Depending on what you owe on that, right? So it affects everything. It's like it's just a chain reaction to everything. So I don't understand why the main media is not letting the American people know this. And that's why I say it's not what they say, it's what they're not saying. You got to go out there and find the information. And when you do find the right information, you could prepare yourself with your business, right? Real estate, right? And paper assets. Okay, because this petrodollar, well, it ain't the dollar no more that's controlling this shit, can affect these 3 things in life, especially your paper assets, right? And what you invest in the stock market, right? Also, real estate, right? Also, your business. So these are the 3 things that you got to know that's up to par. And I feel, and I hate to say this about America, they lie to you or they don't tell you. Right? See, the 1%, they way up ahead of us in knowing information. That's the difference between the 1% and the 99%. Somebody got to know before the sheep know. The rest of the herd knows. right? That there's a cliff there, but 1% is not going to fall off that cliff. The rest will, and they don't care. See, a lot of people forget is, when they say survival of the fittest, it's not just that. It's survival of the economics. And this is called class warfare, whether you like it or not. Either you get with the program or you're not with the program. Okay, so now, this is a boxing channel, but I also going to explore more. And, I did one with synthetic robots versus humans. That's part 1. I'll get to part 2. My next video might be on the red light districts and comparing America's price to red light district prices out of this country, right? I might do that. And there'll be some other topics as we go along. Mind control, subliminally, they get it in your head with advertising, yes. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper on language, right? And how they get you, right? I don't do lives. I don't do super chats. I'm just here having fun with this and leaving a piece of shit on this world of me, so my family or my new family or whatever comes up ahead of me, they could backtrack and see how their bloodline thinks, or one of the people in their family thinks. I'm enjoying it like that, right? I got 4,000 social subscribers. I get 1,000 subscribers every year. I'm talking to the people that's outside as well, looking inside, because this is a boxing channel. So my boxing subscribers, thank you for your support. And like I said, I don't have Instagram and I don't have Twitter, so I've been getting 1,000 subscribers a year, and I've been on this 4 years. So it's not a race to me. I'm pacing myself and I'm enjoying it, because I'm like I always say, and I'm proud to say, I'm 51 years old, and I'm not trying to get to the destination. I'm just enjoying the journey, basically. So I'm not here to change your mind, here for you to read between the lines. It's not what they say, it's what they're not saying. I'm also here to irritate your mind. And like I said, hey, lies with truth, truth with lies. But at the end of the day, you love the lies, you hate the truth. I am out. To the next video. 1.